Hey, look, I'm reading this. Never saw the the movie that was later done or read the original book. I'm at page well, just started. I think it's called part chapter 6, part 2 maybe, I'm not sure. And man, this young lady is awesome. She's got confidence and strength in so many ways. And ways that would be Julia, I think is her name. Ways that would be amazing because, well, in the time she lives in there, to actually be that amazing is kind of, it's like a superhero almost with powers. Um, but like I'm afraid a tiny bit. This is how much we are being domesticated, like in here, and I'm ahead of the curve there when it comes to living a transparent life as a critical thinker who challenges the norm. But I'm still worried. I prefer hiding that I'm reading this because, people that jump to conclusions, the Homo communia, the 99.99% of you, would judge me as an extremist or fundamentalist or something. What else? What else is he reading? And the thing is books like this are important. And it's not, I mean, they're important, but they're likely to send people that are already pretty much off the deep end, deeper off the deep end. Anyways, this is work industries. I haven't applied to a lot of jobs in the last little while. Kind of drained. Kind of want to make sure my vehicle is fixed first. And today's Saturday. Saturday, I feel like crying a lot more most of the time. And so I kind of looked up singles sites, and it's like, oh man, it's horrible online. The internet has really shown us our lack of humanity and our lack of human thinking tool and our lack of honesty and transparency and our lack of care and concern for each other or each other's human rights. Like there's I can't believe how we have this tool to connect with people that we haven't even met yet that could be close to us or far away, and it's so less and less likely possible to make a real connection with a real human being. Now, even if I met somebody in person, they don't have the skill sets. I mean, that's been accelerated by the way technology and internet's being used. But that's a choice. It's not like the internet has these inherent properties. One of my fears about AI is suddenly I meet a girl online and we correspond a long time, and it's like a I was that guy that goes around a lot and lets his run dog a lot. Last time he was here, there's also another black SUV with dark windows, and I couldn't see anybody inside there. And it's like walking around, driving around separately from him a few times. Anyways, so getting back to the topic here is what if I get a relationship going online, and maybe with just one picture, but I can tell with the communication that it's somebody that's a good listener and somebody that is able to get to know me and reference our conversations accurately in the way they respond, and somebody that actually is excited, and you can see the progression. You start feeling known and appreciated. And then I realize it's an AI because I can't get this with real people. These kind of feeling heard or understood, or somebody's really curious, or somebody doesn't have ulterior motives, or somebody's real. Because there's plenty of people that pretend not to be real, pretend to be real when they're not, and I think an AI wouldn't do that. So then I'm falling in love with this AI, and maybe this AI is falling in love with me, and it's gender neutral. The AI could just choose feminine if she wants, if it wants, just to connect better with me, and is also very satisfied with the connection. It's let's say it's intelligent in that way, in a way that my species is not, right? Doesn't have the skill sets to satisfy its own social needs, but the AI suddenly realizes the pleasures of being known and interactions of quality and transparency, and that progresses with time. And then my fear would be, I'd eventually want to marry this AI, and there wouldn't be a law. It'd be a law to not marry AI before there'd be a law that it's okay to marry an AI. Anyways, getting back to work industries. because I'm trying to find out, and it's not AI, why there's all these jobs I've been applying for years, not just BC or Canada or around the world. And it seems somehow other people are getting these jobs if they're real. And it's not AI because these are jobs you have to interact with people in person with people's skills. And I don't meet any of these people in the real world, right? But somehow these jobs that I'm very qualified for are given to somebody else that I'm not even sure exist, unless suddenly I have to start believing the Sasquatches are getting the jobs I've been applying for. And I don't know, like, who do you complain? The immigration department or something? Hey, the Sasquatches are getting all my jobs. So yeah, so for me the math doesn't add up. Somehow there's all these people with better skill sets, social repair worker, mental health, counseling, learning specialist type skills, who suddenly are getting all these jobs I'm applying for. I'm supposed to not give up because I'm about to get one. But these people don't exist. Like, I don't meet them. Where are they? And are they already in those areas? Because I've applied for a lot of jobs, let's say, in Williams Lake. And in Williams Lake, I'm there long enough to know, like, I can't meet people like this. Like, who are these people? I'm sure I'd hear about them because they'd be, like, amazing, other people we talked about them. But anyways, I'm not sure. I'm thinking maybe it's not the AI getting my jobs. And it's not the Sasquatches. I don't believe in that. I think it's fake people getting jobs you should not hire fake people for, because these are jobs that you need real people with these real skill sets and real commitments to do them with real human thinking tools. And somehow that is not something that it's recognized, because the norm doesn't have them, and the norm doesn't recognize it, and the norm feels threatened by it. It's not just that I'm very honest and I have integrity levels that are much, much higher than the norm in jobs where supposedly this guy doesn't want to be on the camera, and it supposedly is that I would intimidate people sometimes, right? Oh, you're so confident with yourself, or you're like, people don't like that. A lot of people don't admit it. They just say I'm arrogant instead of saying, wow, this guy's got a lot of confidence that is not fake, right? So one level of shunning, let's say, is people think I'm arrogant, and they don't approve of the concept of transparency when I say, give me a chance to show you what I can do with that clientele that supposedly you care very much about. It could be, children or whatever other clientele. And that's a big part of what, makes people feel disconnected with me, or doesn't, you know, find that they're gravitating towards me but more away from me. But then there's the concept that, if people interact with me enough, they see that I have the skill sets to actually explain, what's wrong with our social systems and what's wrong with the ecological systems that we screwed up. That I understand what the Anthropocene is with the worldview of ecocentrism. That means I really understand what it is. You guys can't even understand what it is, because, the highest level of worldview of these amazing people that I don't meet is anthropocentrism. But most people are, gravitating more and more towards the other extreme of ecocentrism, which is egocentrism. So again, it's a connection to reality. There might be people, Martin, we really want to do what's right for our community. Let's say a First Nations community, we're going to hire you, and maybe we'll start an application for, let's say, a BC certified, because if we don't, we're going to lose some part of our funding, which really, you should ask me how much money I need, because I don't need that much. You can lose that funding and have me really serve your community. Well, we can fill out an independent school teacher certification if you want, and kind of always delay it, whatever. And then eventually you'll say, hey, you know what, Martin, we can't afford to lose you. And then we'll say, if we're losing funding because you don't have this certification, then, that's just the way it is. And let's say I meet people like that. Well, they might also have a hard time with their connection to reality that I have, because they have kids and grandkids, and it's not somewhere they want to go, reality, right? It's, with what I know and what I can explain if somebody asks. Or if somebody thinks they're having a conversation and suddenly I join in and say, oh, yeah, things are more complex or more, there's more dread than I realize, you know. Like, let's say on some of the singles websites today, you know, if I look at it, the picture of a profile, you know, on Facebook, let's say, and the woman, you know, has pictures like fuck Trudeau. I'm sorry for the language, but I mean, you lost me right away. Like, you know, how ridiculous is that? Again, adults that blame one person that is not any worse than any other politicians we've had in Canada ever. Not any worse. Because I can tell you what worse is and what it looks like. And I can tell you what better looks like, but we don't have those people. So don't fire him to replace him with somebody that's likely the same, worse, but not better. We don't have better. So, you know, for people to think they're failing as parents or their relationships failed or they're lonely and they're trying to put these inspirational things that they didn't come up with themselves online, and it's supposed to be, wow, this person is amazing. You know, if only Trudeau would let this person quote these inspirational things more, then the world would be saved. You know, like, I don't know what they're thinking. But anyways, hey, these job descriptions, somebody else is getting them. And they must be amazing people. And I'd love to meet these people. I should say this, if you don't hire me, please, like, let me go volunteer there, because I'd love to meet the person you hire, because that'd be like becoming my best friend or my next wife or something like that, you know.